Mourning yet another lost summer, albeit distinctly, painfully and dramatically average. I can't do any more barbecuing because the weather is just atrocious, but that's not gonna stop me. I'm not giving up. Got this massive brisket. I asked my suppliers at Field and Flower to send me over a big boy, untrimmed. It should have a solid fat cap on that. I'm doing barbecue brisket. We're not giving up on the smoke. See, I've got a few ideas. 3 types of La Chinata smoked paprika. They're doing the smoking for me. A little bit of black garlic, Boltajo black garlic, some yuzu, olive oil, salt, pepper. Gonna marinate that for about 2 to 3 days. Got a week off, and then we're gonna hit it with some absolutely fantastic sous videing. You knew it was gonna come. 68 degrees Celsius for around 36 hours. I'm thinking we're gonna get a nice traditional briskety sort of texture, a bit of juiciness. All those connective tissues are gonna break down and we're gonna end up with a tender meat. But I've got 3 kgs, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do with all of that afterwards, but I'll come up with a few accompaniments. I've got a bit of time as well to think about it. So I'm gonna do this and we'll see how we go. All right, down to business. It's Sunday, which means it's time to transfer this sucker into the sous vide machine. The last thing I would say, if you are doing a sous vide and you've got a lot of meat in a very, very full tub, do pay heed to Archimedes' theory of water displacement. That water level's gonna rise. I just shorted out the house's power because I had the water level full and then dropped the meat in and sous vide machine shorted, the whole power went out. Bad words were used. After breaking the first rule of the kitchen, thou shalt not dumbass, the brisket gods have decided to look upon me not with disdain, not with distaste, but with curiosity at the very least. We've got here the bag, managed to hold its sort of seams together, which is absolutely lovely. That's around about the 24-hour mark and I should start to see some excellent action with the tenderness. And over the past 24 hours that's been in there, I've had a long, hard think about what I want to do. Now, as a Kiwi, there's something that I've missed whilst being here in London. And it's a particular type of bread, Vogel's bread. It was a part of my youth, part of my childhood. And luckily for me, although they have their version of Vogel's over here, I don't really think it's the same. I know how to make it. Well, at least to some extent. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a nice, thick, moist Vogel's loaf, which you'll see, long sliced across the loaf. I'm gonna layer it out with some delicious brisket. I'm gonna make some sort of faux sauerkraut, really, really punchy, got a lot of attitude. And then I'm gonna make like a humdinger of a sauce. Like this thing is gonna like tear through everything. Because we've got a little bit of spice here. Now I want something creamy, something tangy, something to really bring everything to that extra level of life. Bloody brilliant. All right, get a bit of parsley. So I've got flour, got parsley, got some chia seeds at home, cabbage, I need cabbage for the sauerkraut. So got this massive selection of stuff. Woohoo! And so next on that list will be sunflower seeds. Right side? My right. Here it is. So good! How's your day been? Pound again. Boom. This seems like a lot of ingredients, but really, the process couldn't be more simple. So we've got the bread ingredients over here. We've got the chia seeds, sunflower seeds, flax seeds. Those are gonna go in equal proportions. Now, to bulk it all out, you can't just have a loaf made out of seeds, so we've got 3 types of flour here. We've got the white flour, which is gonna give us the connectivity of our loaf. We're gonna slowly work our way into a deeper flavor, which is gonna be performed by the wholemeal flour, and that's a great bridge between white flour and finally the rye flour. The rye flour we're not gonna use too much of, but that's gonna go in there and give us a really, really deep flavor. And that's going to be echoed by molasses. That's going to darken up our loaf. It's going to afford us a little bit of sweetness, which would go well to balance this out. And along with a big hit of yeast, should give us a dynamic flavor. Now, onto the sauce. So the sauce, we've got green peppercorns, we've got the onion seeds here, and nigella seeds. So those are all going to be ground up, trying to get them into as a finer paste almost as possible. That's going to go in with a little bit of garlic powder there. And then that is all coming together in with a base of sour cream, along with mustard and chopped up capers and the freshness of parsley. So I'm going to mince up that parsley. And that sauce may end up looking a little bit green, but whew, it should be punchy and delicious. Now, in case there wasn't enough tanginess in this, we're going to take it to the next level. We've got cabbage here. That cabbage is going to be finely sliced. I'm really going to shave it, basically. I'm going to steam the cabbage, get it really, really nice and wilted, then transfer it to a pan and cook it along with a little bit of white wine vinegar. And then to cheat a little bit of sweetness into it, I'm going to use a bit of this pomegranate molasses. That's still got a bit of tang to it, but it's also got that little note of sweetness in it, which is going to work out just perfectly. Now, of course, all of this needs to be seasoned. But what I'm thinking is, with the fattiness of our meat, all this is going to come together and give us earthy flavors, tangy flavors, even more tangy flavors, and a huge hit of umami and spice from that brisket. What a unit. Good God. I've got the top and the bottom of the loaf. Got a whole lot of sauce dripping out the side. And now we're gonna give this a go. I'm a little bit concerned because, well, I don't usually do things like sandwiches, but hey, it's a sandwich. You know, see how it goes. Oh my God, that's a good bite. My teeth just basically fell through that. Once I got past this beautiful, crunchy upper crust of that loaf, it just went whoop, straight through. You get the zing from that bottom layer of sauce, and then just meat, just big meat flavors. That lacinato smoked paprika and the bolsonaro black garlic really actually coming through still. I'd almost forgotten about them after so many days, but no, they're still coming through. And then last but not least, you got that faux sort of sauerkraut there. I mean, it doesn't specifically taste like sauerkraut, but it's a good imitation, I think. Yeah, pretty good balance of flavors. As I said earlier, I'll probably slightly change my cooking method of the meat. Not necessarily from sous vide, but just in terms of like my temperatures and my timings. Lower temperature, slightly longer time, and maybe when I get that meat, a bigger fat cap, or use the point end of the brisket. So thanks very much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to give this a go, just leave a comment down below, and I'll give you a few more of the timings and a few more specifics over how to do it.